everybody, I sent out a couple of emails today, so you'll need to look in your inbox in your spam folder. We are looking at a 5th company that I've been actually looking at for about a month when the owner had contacted me. And very familiar with the people that are behind it. I'm pretty impressed by what they've created already. And it's going to have a lot to do with big money. I'll just put it like that. And so they're in pre-launch. I sent out an invitation for their pre-launch. We'll be adding them sometime in March or early April, maybe sooner. But you definitely want to find that email. If I'm not your personal sponsor in HBBN, then you'll need to get with your personal sponsor. If I'm their sponsor, give them the link in the event they didn't get the email. And everybody needs to get signed up in the proper order into it. It's a free positioning right now. So you'll need to go and find the email that I sent you. And then if you can't find it, you need to send me a request for that information. And I'll be glad to fulfill that. Timing is everything, though. Let me say that. So I know I've made a fortune in the very beginning of a company. A lot of times I outlasted those companies, and we've all seen that happen before. So I feel that the ones that we're involved in right now have a lot of years behind them, and the owners have long-term plans, and we like that. So I know GDI has been around 12 or 13 years. They've been around longer than that, but before they went in the network marketing arena, I know GVO's been around the same amount of time. Doobly's fairly, well, actually, no, Doobly's 13 years old. Actually, they went through a few modifications and, you know, they a few changes and everything. So that, and let's see here, and Domain Cost Club is owned by GDI. So out of the 4 companies, there's a lot of years behind those companies, a lot of infrastructure that they can't just walk away, and we like that. That's why we have stayed with them all these years. But now this 5th company is very intriguing. It deals in an industry in the network marketing arena that has had a few successes, but those successes were stopped because they weren't structured correctly. Whereas this one is structured correctly. We're impressed by what we've seen. I've sent out the pre-launch links for everybody. You need to find those, get signed up for free, and then get those links out to everybody you know and get the structure down. Get everything down so when they launch, there will literally be people making $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 their first month with this company. So in our system it's going to be added into the system, and we're going to help build that for everybody as well. Yeah, if they had the power lines for email address, we're putting those fields in Profits team, so you will see all that, but it's going to take a little bit of time because all this that you're seeing is custom coded. This is not from a template or anything, and that takes time. So we're going to have that for you. You don't need to worry about that. I fully understand that. I'll get with Jeff on that, and like I said, I'll put a little emphasis that maybe on it's what we're doing right now is we're adding that page, the page for the TSUNAMI system itself in there right now. He's coding that. As soon as he gets that done, he's going to do the you have a sign up email that you'll get every time somebody signs up with your link, and that'll have the name and email address of the person that joined with you. So you're going to like that. You know what, Profits team, I appreciate you bringing that up, because if you're on the call tonight and you've paid and haven't heard from us, sometimes, like for instance, we had a payment come in yesterday, and it had the name of some strange company on it, that it was from some company, and we didn't realize it was from one of our team members. We knew that it was, but we couldn't find that company, or the PayPal email address was not in our system. So we had to push it off to the side. So if you send us a PayPal and you lock in your position, and that PayPal has another name on it, or whatever, so you need to kind of send us an email and let us know what PayPal email address and name is on that PayPal account, and to apply that to, and then give me your number or your account username, okay? And we'll make sure that's taken care of for you. So I appreciate that, Profits team, exactly. And Robin Oregon, welcome to the call. Welcome to the call. Maja, Kresimir, Ivanka, Ella, and Dave Cummings are on with us as well. So a great group of people right now. And Ivanka, will it be automated in the future? Yes, indeed, it sure will. It'll be set up. Everything will be totally automated. So everybody should see that. Ivanka, I sent you a link that you need to find. It's a company that is pre-launching. I know the owner of the company in his multi-million-dollar background in this industry, and I'm glad to say he's finally done something right with one of the industries that companies have never been able to seem to get it right. He has. So you'll need to take a look at that. Get signed up in the pre-enrollment, and then get your link out there to all your team members. Remember, if I'm not your sponsor, never use my link. Always call your upline or email your upline. If they're not in it, send them an email telling them they need to get in it to get with their upline. If I'm their upline, tell them to look in their inbox and spam folder, because I sent out the invitations early this afternoon, so everybody should see them. Welcome to the call, St. Business and Royal Loans. Robin Oregon's on. Profits team's on. Modularis Graphic is on. Lori is on. Kresimir. John Brown, welcome to the call. Ivanka's on. Ella in New Hampshire's on. And Dave Cummings. Good deal. Good deal, Rob. Yeah, I saw you got yours done. Exactly. Yep, I saw that came in. I appreciate that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm familiar with the people behind it. I like what I see, and there's going to be some money made in it, big time. My name and email is the same as okay. Then Profits team, I'm sure she might. I don't know. Teresa's been in and out of the office, and I know she was sending out to all the PayPals that we got in today. I don't know if she finished, so yours might have been one of the ones that just got in that mix. So I'm sure if you sent it, then it's done that. Okay. Well, great. We've got a lot to go over in just a few short minutes here. So I want to first thank each and every one of you for getting on tonight's webinar, first of two, every Tuesday and Thursday nights at 5 p.m. Eastern USA time and 8 p.m. Eastern USA time. They're going to be kind of duplicate webinars. They'll be a little different because they're not recorded, so I'm going to always ad lib and and just go over different things and try to answer those questions. But of course, it's great to be a leader and to be supportive of your team. That's what I stress with everybody. It's funny, years ago we didn't have webinars, we had phone conferences, okay? And phone conferences, back when we did them, they were just kind of fairly new, kind of like party lines almost, but it cost you to be on that conference call, and everybody, whenever they do a roll call and you say Tim Sebert here in Waxhaw, North Carolina, and then the next person would say Terry Daughtry in Serbia, and then there'd be another person, and the roll call would go off. I always had people ask me, why are you on all those? They're the same thing. They're this, they're that. And every time I was ever asked that, I always said, because I'm there to support my team. I'm there to let them know that, how can I expect them to be on the call if I'm not willing to be on that call? I'm there to set an example. And that's what, as a leader, that's what each and every one of you definitely want to do in this industry, is to support that team. Ivanka's a great supporter of her team, and I applaud her. And Kresimir's on every call. Rob's been on. Ross is on down in Florida. Royal, you've been on. Mike Stanley up in the great country of Canada has been on, and and Ella's been on up in New Hampshire, and Dave has as well. So building this thing it's so important to be supportive and not to just be another name on that list, but during question and answer sessions, coming up with, typing in questions, even if maybe you know the answer, but maybe your team has asked you during the week that question. It's great to have those coming in, because even though you have the answer, 5 other people on this webinar might not have that answer. And as a team, we can all grow, and I like that. I think it's so important to share and to duplicate what we've done that has become successful, to be able to duplicate in other people. So with that being the case, let me say this. Welcome. We are so close. I know a lot of you have seen the new lead capture page for the Home-Based Business Network. Now, if you haven't taken a look, we revamped it. And by revamping it, we're seeing, versus the amount of looks and click-ons, we're seeing click-throughs go up higher and higher. So, and of course, sign-ups are starting to pick up also. They're up and down, which is really cool, because sometimes there's only 1 an hour, and sometimes there's 20 an hour. So so that's important to make those changes to capture. So, and we've installed a members login feature in the upper right hand corner of your lead capture page. So now that becomes the main page for the Home-Based Business Network. So you can actually log into your back office through that. Jeff has put the urgent notice on the home page. Whenever you log in, the urgent notice that talks about upgrading. So that's important for everybody to recognize. And let me say this, if you haven't upgraded yet, you need to get it done as soon as possible. March 1st is getting close. And we're going to make sure that people are locked into their positions, so nobody can go around them when we get ready to launch this thing in the month of March. Not going to give you an exact date, simply because, as you know, Jeff is custom coding this whole site for protection and to make sure that everything is done right. So please keep that in mind. Now, tonight, the site will be down for, I think he said, for about an hour. He's installing some kind of additional security software for the code itself. So he's installing some things. So it will go down. I just don't know what time it'll go down yet. It depends on when he can get a start for that. So beware of that. Don't think we're out of business or anything like that. He's got to take it down in order to upload the security and the code for that. So if anybody else has joined, let's see. Anybody else? No, Chris is on. Yeah, welcome, Chris, to the call. So let me say this. We've got a lot of momentum that's going right now. A lot of you have locked in your positions. The money's in house, and we're getting excited. The pay plan itself, the TSUNAMI matrix itself, the TSUNAMI wave crasher reentry part of that, that's all custom coded. So that way there's not a matrix in the network marketing arena that's coded like this, that's even set up to rebuild itself with the monthly renewals. So and yeah, Ivanka, yeah, it's going to be in the month of March. I can't give out an exact date yet, like I said, because I could tell you it's going to launch the 7th of March, but if his coding's not done and everything, we can't launch it until he has all this coding wrapped up with the pay plan, with the sponsorship links, and all that. So it's all custom in the month of March, exactly. So, and whenever he gets closer to knowing the exact date, let's say the 27th of this month, in a few days, let's say he calls me and says, Tim, I think I can have this done by the 12th of March. Then what I might do is put it out there for the 14th of March and give a 2-day buffer for launching, doing the worldwide launch for this. But like I said, I'll let everybody know when he can give me an exact date. Okay, Royal. Yeah, you should be okay, Royal. No problem there. And yeah, that's cool. So, But we're having a lot of fun with this. The training is going great. I know a lot of you have thought, well, how can I get more people into this business? That's, it's like anything else. You got to believe in it. You got to see the excitement behind it. You've got to see the power of what we offer, and that is to build multiple streams of income. Most people can't even build one stream of income, and there's a reason for that. The average network marketer in our industry, the average home-based business entrepreneur only recruits 1.8 people during their whole network marketing career. And why is that? Well, because usually they join companies, and they join companies that are not duplicatable. They try to sell the product or maybe the opportunity. And maybe this is a product person they're talking to, but they're selling them the opportunity and they turn them off. Or maybe it's an opportunity person and they're trying to sell them on the product. So there's a lack of the training, there's a lack of the focus, and there's a lack of laser targeting that's involved in this. You got to kind of know who your buyers are and who are your buyers? Who are your next distributors? Who are your next team members? Well, anybody that breathes air and drinks water. That's what I say. And I live with the 3-foot rule. If they're within 3 foot of me, they're going to find out that I've got something that could enhance their lives. Now, that's a pretty broad statement. Think about what I said. I've got something that can enhance your life. That could be monetarily, financially. That could be health-wise. That could be with their computer, their electronics. That could be their home. That could be a car that can enhance their life. There's all kinds of hot buttons that people have. And what I've learned to do is not to answer questions. I just don't do it. When I'm talking to somebody that's brand new, I don't answer questions. I don't. You see, I learned years ago that if you're going to go out there and know it all and talk somebody to death, you're going to, it's kind of like dating. Okay? Those of you that are married or maybe not married, you know what dating's like, right? Okay? Whenever you meet somebody new, you don't walk up to them and ask them to marry you right off the bat, right? You don't. If you do, you scare them away. And this is what so many of us do when we're out prospecting, whether it's in person or online or through the mail. We are out there asking people to marry us. And we're creating skeptics. And we don't want to do that. What you need to focus on, okay, is the element, I'm not going to say the element of surprise, but the element of curiosity. See, the best network marketers that are out there, the people that are really making big money, 6- and 7-figure incomes, not per year, but per month, they learn how to dangle a little bit of bait out there and get the curiosity up of that person. I've got people calling me all the time that are great network marketers that if you heard some of the names in there, you'd recognize them. Whether you've only been around this industry for a month or for 20 years, you would know who they are. And they'll call me up like this, "Hey Tim," they know that I'm a combination of an opportunity and a product person. Okay, they know I am. They know I do my homework. They'll say, "Hey, have you heard about that new travel company that's coming out?" I'll say, "Well, I know of a few of them. What's the name of it?" "Hey, Tim, do me a favor. Take a look at the little video and tell me what you think of that company." Now, he didn't ask me to get into the company. He didn't ask me to put up money or do anything. He asked me for my opinion on that company. And, I appreciate that because he's not trapping me in a corner. And I like that. And I'm brutally honest with people that do that. And I will usually take a few minutes of my day and check it out. So I know what's out there. And by doing that, I'll usually let them know. I'll usually call them back, or if they say they'll call me back by a certain time, I make it a point to check that out and get to know who's behind it, longevity based on pay plan. There's a lot of factors that tell me if it's a short-term, short-lived business or if it's something that somebody's building for long-term. And I'll usually call them up, or they'll call me up, and I'll tell them, hey, listen, looks good, like it, but it doesn't quite fit on my plate what I'm looking for. And I know you didn't ask me to get into it, but I'm not really super interested, and here's why right now. And I'll just give them that tidbit of information. And they usually respect that. And whenever that company goes out of business, I don't usually say to them, hey, I told you so. You know, I don't play that game with people. And in turn, I've got people that call me up every day, or they email me. Hey, Tim, what do you think about this? And they get my opinion before they make a move into anything. Some of those people are in our home-based business network, and I'll be featuring some of them on some of the webinars in the upcoming months. They have some great training technique, and it's helped them to build incomes and teams into the hundreds of thousands. So keep that in mind. You don't want to go out there and propose marriage on the first date. Building a big, strong team is based on a series of dates. So secondly, don't go out there and sell a company. Don't go out there and sell a product. Go out there and sell yourself. You know, companies come and go. Products come and go. And they end up leaving us in the dirt. I teach and I train people on how to sell themselves, how to develop that trust factor between you and that prospective team member. That's so important, because if people don't feel they can trust you, if you don't lay your cards out with people and let them know you're in it for the long haul, you're in it for the relationship, and you're in it for them, you can forget about building a business. It won't work. If you're out there selling the next flavor of the day, trust me, they'll be gone. Every time you call, they will not pick up your phone call. Every time you email, they'll delete it. They won't open it up. So this business is nothing more than learning how to cultivate trust, friendship, and success. And if you'll keep that in mind when you're dealing with people, and find out what their needs are, not what your needs are, find out what theirs are. Find out what they're looking for. That'll sometimes give you a good clue as to what you need to bring to the table for them, if you can. So keep that in mind. Also, whenever I'm building my business, I have 3 questions I usually ask myself before I take an action on building that business. I always ask myself these 3 things. You might want to write these down and think about them. Is what I'm doing productive? Otherwise, is it wasting time, or is it going to be productive? Is what I'm doing profitable? Otherwise, are my actions going to lead towards building other people's incomes, which in turn helps to build mine? And is what I'm doing duplicatable? You see, if you're out there making one sale and what you're doing isn't duplicatable, then it's going to end with that one sale. That individual won't be able to duplicate what you're doing. So always ask yourself these, just kind of in your subconscious, ask yourself these when you're getting ready to start an action that hopefully will help you build your business. Is what I'm getting ready to do going to be productive? Is it going to be profitable? And is it going to be duplicatable? Those 3 questions have helped me to gain so much for others and for ourselves over the last 38 years. So keep those in mind. These are little tidbit morsels. I call them $1 million morsels that I've shared with people, tens of thousands of people worldwide over the years. Some of these people have become super successful network marketers. So keep that in mind. Now, what I want to say is this. If you haven't joined during their pre-launch, got back up, You need to get that done as well. Get that done ASAP. Your computer needs it anyways. So it runs constantly on your computer. You need to get the link for your sponsor and do that. You're welcome, Ivanka. You need to get your link from your upline and do that. The system is going to be automated. I won't have to say all this on the webinars once it's all in place back there. But in the meantime, we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Get with your sponsor, get their link for Got Backup, and get signed up for it. The new company, the 5th company that we're looking at bringing on board and putting into this initial matrix, I sent out the links for it. You should find them in your inbox or spam folder. If you don't find them, you need to send me a request for that link, and then get your link out to everybody on your team. Like I said, we're going to automate this thing to where you're going to get notifications in the email that you just had a sign up. It's going to have their name and their email address, so you can start building your list with all your signups as well. But in the meantime, send me your request. I don't want to post a link on here because there's people on this call tonight that I personally didn't enroll, and I need to make sure they get with their sponsor. Let's see. Here is the email address, if you would. If you can't find that, the 5th company's information, send me an email to bobmon123@carolina.rr.com, and if you will, in the subject line of your email, just put HBBN. That way it'll get through my spam filter. I do have a filter on my priority account. If you get an email back from spam arrest, just click the link that verifies you're a real person and type in the code and verify. You only have to do that one time. And in the meantime, put HBBN in. That'll go into my priority inbox. And then in the body of it, say, Tim, this is so-and-so, Dave Cummings from Nebraska or wherever. You know, please send me the link, the free sign-up link to the 5th company that the system is going to promote. And then I'll turn around and send it back to you right away. Look in your inbox and your spam folder from something from Tim and Teresa Sebert. Get it. Get signed up. There's no money, no credit card needed. This is just for positioning, okay? But get signed up right away. Watch their videos so you have a good idea of just the fun you're getting ready to have, like we all are. So with that, just a few bit of morsels on this call. I'm going to share them tonight. Tomorrow, Thursday night, I'm going to have a few more things for you. Also, don't forget the previous morsels I left out there about how to get more prospects through conventional manners, such as through the mail. Any junk mail you get, open it up. Keep those postage paid envelopes. Send them a little advertisement about how they can make money. And build a home-based business or a training, whatever you want to put. Join the Home-Based Business Network. It'll help you build any business you may already be in or own, or it'll help you build multiple streams of income. Go to and take a look. Something simple like that. Put it in those postage-paid envelopes and mail it back to those companies. Get all the magazines you can get your hands on at the library, at the coffee shop, and take out those postage-paid postcards that are in between the pages, and then tape that same little advertisement card, tape it to the inside of that and mail that back to them. There's thousands of people a month that you could get your hands on that hate their jobs in corporate America right there, free. And corporate Croatia and Serbia, and corporate Australia and England. So all over the world. These are simple techniques that don't really cost you a dime, and you can put your message and your website out in front of everybody. So with that, we're going to open up the call now for questions and answers. Are there any questions that I can help y'all with before we end this call? We've got about 4 minutes. Will TGB be paying for the new company? Yes, we will include it in the matrix. I'm waiting for some cost factors and things like that. If it's not in the first matrix, it'll be put into the second matrix. But it'll still be made available to pay and get in earlier as well. Okay, so yes, but we'll incorporate it into the system as well. Great question, Kresimir. Any other questions? Come on now. We're here to help you all. We want you to be successful and have fun at the same time. I see some typing going on. Who's the lucky typer? Whenever you get off this webinar today, let everybody know we've got one coming up in 2.5 hours, and get them to it, get them the link for it. Anybody else? I'll tell you what, this tsunami reentry, the tsunami wave crasher technology that we have created is phenomenal. I was on 2 different 3-ways today. Matter of fact, Ross was on one of them. Ross, he's off right now, but Ross and I were on one earlier, and then I was on one with another one of our team members. And we were talking about this new technology, this new reentry technology. You know, years ago we used to have the follow me, okay, where you followed your sponsor in the smaller matrices, which were kind of neat, but they sooner or later fizzled out is what happened. And there was a lot of holes and a lot of people left behind. With this, the whole team, cross line, up line, and down line, everybody is working to one common goal, to build everybody else's matrices. And that's something that companies have never wanted to happen. They wanted that breakage. They wanted those holes. They wanted that extra penny to go into the company's pocket. We're not wanting that. We're wanting everybody to cycle through these, to get through these and get their positions in these 4 companies, these now 5 companies, and make these residual income checks like they've never done before. Because what I've learned over the years is you get people excited, you get them making money that can change their family's future and lives, and you've got somebody that will tell the world that all of a sudden will be involving their warm market that you would have never had the opportunity to delve into. So that's the beauty of this. Any other questions? Now come on, y'all. I know there's got to be questions. You know, there's a lot of team builders that are out there now. They're springing up left and right. And you know, I just want to say this. You know, we're going to give you the tools. We're going to be that Jeff is building, and we've already had several of them that we had out 5 years ago. And believe you me, there were upset people when we took them down. Actually, our site was hacked by some people from a European nation, and they took over the site and they corrupted everything. And matter of fact, I'm not going to even give you the name of the site, because if you go to it, it will try to upload a virus to your computer right off the bat. So that's how, you know, back then we didn't have the security and the technology. Now we do, so we feel great about that. But we had people that literally, I mean, they were sending me the nastiest emails because they lost their tools. They couldn't use the tools because they are server-based from our server. So they lost them, and we had to shut it down. And I felt bad. I lost it. I couldn't use it. And all of a sudden, that 2 or 3 minutes a day worth of work went back to 4 or 5 or 6 hours a day in work. And I was pretty upset too. But the fact is, we're bringing it back out. They're going to save so many people so much time and so much money. Okay, yes. I don't know how to put it. Will we be able to see our downline in the yes, the paying downline? Yes, you will. You'll be able to see it. That will be available in there as well. Okay, great questions. Any other questions? Any other questions before we end this one? Teresa won't get on the call. She just she's heading upstairs. Yeah, she just ran like a scalded rabbit. Oh, Lordy have mercy. Okay. Chasing our granddaughter upstairs. Okay. Well, I tell you what then. This call, I appreciate all of you being on the call. I hope I've answered your questions. Remember, send me an email, put HBDN on the inside, on the subject line, put your name, first and last name in the body of it, and say, Tim, please send me the link to the fifth company. I'm going to send it to you. You need to get your positioning done right away as soon as possible, and it's free to join during their free launch, okay? Get your positioning done ASAP. Outside of that, thanks, everybody. We appreciate y'all. Yep, Royal's already in. Matter of fact, Royal's in, Rob's in. I'm not sure who else on the call's in, but I want to tell y'all, this is getting exciting. I mean, there's going to be some people making money like they've never made before. And that to us is exciting. Take care. We'll see you at 8 o'clock here in about 2.5 hours. Take care. Good night. God bless you. And we'll see y'all tonight. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.